Coach, if you can just comment on an update on Tom Pyatt, and if he doesn't go tonight, who's in?
He's not going tonight. He's day-to-day, and Kelly's going in. Same defenseman, same goaltender.
How would you define a good start if goal scoring is at a premium in first periods?
A good start for us is what we did in the third period in Boston. That's our good start. I think we gave away too many scoring chances in the first period, especially Marchand's line, and some parts of the second period a little bit too wide open for us. So I think our game is what we saw in the third period. That's when we're consistent. That's where we look good. So if we can start the first 10 minutes like that, that's our focus today. We want to have a good first 10 minutes, and the rest we're not even focusing on the rest.
Can you just walk us through your process to choose? You had a few guys to choose from, but you go with Chris Kelly for Game 5 tonight.
I need a centerman. That's it. That's the simple as that. I mean, he's a guy that I hated to take out for all the reasons. He was a terrific person. He's a great professional, and he's helped us all year. He's been outstanding in our room, and that was probably the toughest thing I had to do this year is to sit him out. Not because he's not doing a good job, just because the other guys that were available were ahead of him. And for the first time of the year, we had a full team. So there wasn't no fun to do that. So to have him back is exciting for me.
Just you needed a center, but you lost a winger. Just sort of, can you explain that part?
Because I got different lines.
Okay. The other thing I wanted to ask was, are you concerned
To
at all?
answer your questions, because I'm putting Smith back on wing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Did you want to expand on that?
No.
Okay. Does it, in your mind, when you go through the decision, do you worry about the fact that an older guy and he's been off for a little bit and getting back up to speed of a playoff?
No, it's the opposite. He's been there. He's been there. He knows exactly how to handle himself, and he's been outstanding handling himself off ice. I mean, he's the ultimate pro. We knew that before we signed him, and he's been acting that way. So the first day he knew he wasn't playing. The first thing he did, he was leading on the ice in practice with the extras. So he's the same in the room between periods. He's the same before. He says all the right things on the bench, and he certainly helps with our identity, and he helps with the intangibles.
Did you notice as the season went on, did he start to fade at all? Like he's an older player and he played all 82 games. Or was he steady in it?
No, he was pretty steady. It's just he's a great penalty kill guy, and when we had everybody, including Pyatt and Wingles also, needed a winger to start the series, and so that's where my decision came. But there was nothing that he was doing that wrong that. I thought about that one pretty long, to be honest with you, for the first game. So, like I said, that was my toughest decision of the year is to keep him out. So now we have a chance to put him back in. So I'm pretty excited about that.
But he's also a guy you could see the type of player he is to playing for a few more years or another year or a couple.
Oh my goodness! I mean, that's first of all, does he want to play? That's him, and we're so beyond. We're today now. I'm in the first 10 minutes of today's game in the playoffs today.
Yeah. He's today's story, though.
Yeah.
You're back, right, Coach? Guy, you've got an offensive presence from at least one player on every line so far. What has that meant for your approach that you've been able to rely on somebody offensively from every shift when you send out a line?
I mean, it was something that we were hoping to get when we looked at our lineup in the summer, but we never had that lineup until the playoffs. So, it's not just depth, it's quality depth, like you just said. It's, for me, it's not just, we don't really have a fourth line. Every line can be our first, our second, or third, or fourth every game. I think that's right now probably our biggest strength, is that a lot of the guys that weren't supposed to be on the top two, top three lines all year were, and got all these minutes. It's the same thing with our defensemen. A guy like Wideman got a lot of big minutes, and Burrow won't be playing today, but he got huge minutes. And you look at Harper at the end of the year, had to play huge pressure games. So in the midst of our adversity throughout the year, the good thing that was happening is that we were developing guys in roles that they never, and in ice time they never would have got if we would have had our team. And yes, it was tough to get through. But we always said if we could get through those tough moments during the year with all these injuries, that it would pay off in the end. And I think right now, we have lines that pretty much all look the same. You know, on any given night, it could be any line, and I do miss I mix my players all the time too. So I like to. I like also to look at the other team's matchups and try to play with that also. So there's a lot of tools and there's a lot of versatility to our players and our lines, and it means a lot because on any given night you get some guys playing better than others, and then you got what I call interchangeables, and that's always more than welcome.
Guy, the Norris Trophy nominees come out today. I'm going to assume that Erik Karlsson is probably on that list. Can you sum up the season he has had and what he has meant to your hockey team?
Well, I'm not even sure Eric would like me to talk about that. For him, it's always been about the team all year long, and the only thing that he's cared about since day one is winning. And I think today's a playoff game where if you ask him, he's only going to talk about the team and winning. So you know what he's meant to us. He's been an outstanding leader. He's got a total complete game right now in all aspects. So do I believe that he deserves that trophy 100%? But I don't think that's the focus of our day today.
Fair enough. And one other thing was, everybody used to say that Nick Lidstrom could always control a game. Can Erik Karlsson do the same thing for your hockey team?
Oh, yeah. I mean, the thing with defensemen of that caliber is it's much more difficult to match than forwards. You know, when you got lines, you can match, but when it's a guy coming from back there that jumps at any moment, you can't really wait for your forwards to look at him and just focus on him when they're back checking. So the strength of a high-end defenseman like that can jump into the play and make plays out of nothing is the fact that you can't really cover that. You never know when it's coming, and I think Erik has proven that so many times this year, including in the playoffs. So I think that's the beauty of having a high-end defenseman with that kind of offense. But also the fact now that we can put him against any player in the league right now, he can defend at the highest level. Gives us tools on both sides, offense and defense.
Guy, y a-tu un danger dans la position que vous êtes présentement, dans le sens où un surplus de confiance, peu importe, on sait que les matchs ont tous été serrés, mais est-ce que tu sens qu'il y a un danger dans un match comme ça?
Non. Moi, les dangers, je regarde jamais ça comme ça. Moi, c'est des opportunités. Je me lève le matin, tous les matins, j'ai une opportunité. Alors, je pense que c'est la même chose pour nos joueurs. Aujourd'hui, on a une opportunité, puis on veut se concentrer seulement sur les 10 premières minutes du match. On va passer ça, c'est un ajustement, puis c'est qui est dans le match, qui est moins dans le match, puis on s'ajuste à partir de ce moment-là. Mais on n'a jamais regardé plus loin que ça. Ça a été notre force toute l'année.
Coach, what have you learned from your previous coaching career in trying to win the fourth game of a playoff series?
People say all kinds of things about that fourth game. It's the same. You need to win all the games, and we were approaching that one the same. Once you start looking ahead, and you're making it bigger, then that's where you start to act differently, and we don't want our players to act differently. I mean, it's whether you're the last game in the third period, you're leading 1-0, or it's today going into this game. The approach is the same, and that's. I think the mental toughness that our players have gained over time is that we've approached every game and every period the exact same, whether it was the beginning of the playoffs, whether it was the third game, fifth game. We'll see the score at the end of the game. We just need to be ourselves, and that's still our focus.